Hello everyone, Larry with Rustic Retreats here. Today I want to do something a little bit different. I want to talk about a couple of our cats. The first one I want to talk about, her name is Fluffy. Now, Fluffy is a stray. She came to us about a year and a quarter ago. Mary found that this little cat, and I say little, but she looked about that big around, but in reality she's about that big around, was holed up in our wood shelter. Mary saw her there and was concerned because it was so cold out, so she started making sure she had straw and she had a place to sleep, and she was feeding her. And then as time progressed on and we got more in towards springtime in the middle of March, Fluffy would start coming up to the house. She would keep her distance. She would kind of peek out from underneath the bushes. She would go around the front of the house where we have shrubs, and she'd hide in the shrubs and kind of peek out at us. She would never really let us pick her up or touch her in any way. But it was during probably the middle of April of last year when we had some really bad thunderstorms. Fluffy was at the house, and then she was gone. And when she came back, she had a kitten in her mouth, and this kitten was, and her, they were totally soaking wet. So she dropped it off, she left, she came back. Well, she ended up making 7 trips and coming back with 7 kittens. So now Mary is concerned, having these little kittens outside, not protected. She built them a little shelter so they could stay in the shelter. She started providing food for them. My wife is like Dr. Doolittle. I call her Dr. Mary Little because she loves animals. They seem to migrate to her. She has really, really easy time taking care of them. So Fluffy started to get closer to us. The kittens, if you look at some of the past Rustic Retreats Instagram stuff and Facebook stuff, you'll see that several times that we posted pictures of the kittens playing, running around, having a good old time. One of those kittens happened to be Gar. Now, we didn't call Gar at that time Gar. He was an orange tiger striped cat. We figured at that time that we would get these cats socialized and then we would give them away. Well, that didn't quite happen, but that's another whole story. So it was about July or so, 2 of the 7 kittens went missing and we didn't know what happened to them. So then at that point Mary decided, with my input, that we should bring them into the house to protect them. So we created a shelter for them within the house. We brought them in, and we wanted to begin working on socializing them. Gar was the very first kitten that approached me, and he allowed me to actually pick him up and pet him. He was a little bit skittish, but compared to the other ones, he wasn't skittish at all. He would allow me to pet him and hold him, and where the other kittens were more standoffish. The first time we had to take Gar to the vet, we didn't know at that time, but he ate a piece of foam rubber. That was back in October of 2019. Mary and I were in Chicago on a work trip, and when we get back, Gar's pretty sick, so we call a vet, we take him in. They do what the vet does. They figured out that he had an intestinal blockage. They went in, they did surgery, and they removed the blockage, and we found it was a piece of foam rubber. The second time we took him in for surgery, we put him in the cat carrier, and he was a little skittish then. We took him in, and he was fixed. So this last time, which happened a few weeks ago, and we had to take him to the Michigan State University Hospital, I wasn't about to put him in a cat carrier because I already knew the fight we had to get him in and the fight we had to get him out. And he was already acting scared. We suspected that he had eaten something again. We didn't know what. So we figured for his sake, it would be better for him to be as calm as possible. It's a 45-minute drive to Michigan State University. So I held him on my lap and kind of cuddled him, and he was actually perking up a little bit, looking out the window, looking around, and he's actually acting like a dog. He was pretty scared though still. When it came time to put him into the kennel, he did not, or into the cat carrier, he did not want to go in. The nurse held the carrier, and I kind of lowered him gently in, and he went in, and they took him out as soon as they got him in because they could see he was pretty scared. But just like he was scared, just like when we're scared, we need to God to hold us and comfort us also. In Deuteronomy 31:6 it says, "Be strong and courageous, do not fear or be in dread of them. For it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you." So we go to pick Gar up. They bring him out in the cat carrier. He is not happy in there. He wanted out, and no matter how sick and how bad he was feeling, he wanted out now. We basically got him into the car, and he was meowing and acting, so I got him out pretty quick, and I put him on my lap, and he was happy sitting on my lap, looking out the window. He was just acting like a dog. So as Gar was beginning to feel better, you could begin to see it in his eyes and his actions. The first few days was touch and go. He wasn't eating. He was sleeping a lot. He was in pain. You could see he didn't want to get up and move. We kept giving him his antibiotics. We kept giving him pain medicine. That allowed him to start feeling like eating. He wouldn't just eat anything. We ended up having to get him canned tuna. And in the middle of this coronavirus, try to find anything that you could feed a cat. It had to be low fat. Well, good luck trying to find that too. We were able to find some chicken in a can made for humans that was 2% fat. That's the lowest we could find. So we took that with chicken broth and water, mixed it all up, shredded the chicken real good so it was small, warmed it up, and then he liked it warm, so we began to eat. This was a process for us because we had to basically feed him every few hours. So it was a constant on-call. I felt like kind of an on-call vet nurse. But as we comforted him, you could see he was taking pleasure in this. He would begin purring and rubbing, and he wanted to be around us. He wanted to be on our lap. He would be nudging us to pet him some more because he really enjoyed that, and he really liked that. And I was thinking, this is really scary times. For us especially, we have a business. We have people working for us that we're responsible for. We're trying to reach out to people around us. We're trying to minister to whoever is put in our path. And we really need to do the same for all the people around us. We all need to minister. We all need to help the elderly. We all need to be with our friends and coworkers and neighbors. And maybe it's just a smile they need today, or maybe they need food or toilet paper, or maybe we can pick up trash around their house, or maybe it's the leaves that have come down, or maybe the grass needs to be mowed. Somehow we can be the hands and feet of Jesus if we really put our minds to it. And we really need to give comfort to these people. We need to have them see some normal things going on. They need to see God through us. In Matthew 5:16 it says, "In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." You see, God has always put special people or animals on our path when things were going sideways. He spoke to us in these times by other people being the hands and feet of Jesus. Now I can remember back in the 80s when I couldn't find a job. I was out unemployed for 4 years. This 3 weeks is nothing compared to 4 years, let me tell you. I can remember the pastor from our church showing up at our door. We lived in an apartment, and he had a box of food for us. We didn't ask him. He knew that we were struggling. He knew that, times were tough for us. We were making decisions. Do we pay the rent or do we buy food? We always believed we need to pay our bills first, and we would have paid our bills. But God provided for us. He showed up with food. And then I remember in 2003, when once again things were going sideways for us, the company wasn't doing very well. I had 2 young kids and Mary, and we didn't have money for a fuel pump for our old van. Our old van broke down in the middle of nowhere. We just put $1,000 into the van to have the fuel pump replaced. We really didn't have the money to do that. So we got it towed in to a local guy, and he agreed to fix it for $300. He had to take it all apart, put a fuel pump in, and put it all back together for $300, which was a great price. But we still didn't have the $300 to pay him. And I remember as we prayed about this, God gave us the work. The money showed up. It was $297 and change to pay a $300+ bill. It was awesome that God was there. His faithfulness was there. God is faithful, and He is always present, and we just have to look around, and you will see His presence. In Matthew 6:25 it says, "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is life more than food, the body more than clothing?" So I encourage you right now to love on the people around you, love on your neighbors, love on your friends, love on your coworkers, love on family members. If you can't see them, Zoom meetings with them, chat with them, use Facebook, use whatever means you have to reach out to others and love on others right now. We, in this terrible time, need to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And yes, it is scary. But it doesn't have to be, because God has our back, and it's our turn to reach out and help others. Thank you all for listening. Leave your comments below. Give a thumbs up and share this video with others to encourage them also. We love you all.